top 5 nastiest pitches of the week, plus a few little bonus things with Rob right now. And we're going to start with number 1 on your list this week. And no, I don't know. These aren't in any particular order, but Jhoan Duran this week. What'd you see from him?
Just ridiculous stuff this week. I mean, he's always had overpowering velocity, but this took it to another level. You have a couple of 99-mile-an-hour splinkers sandwiched with the meat being a 104-mile-an-hour fastball. Like, it sounds even stupid to say. Like, the dude is throwing off-speed pitches at 99 and 104-mile-an-hour fastballs. That's sick.
So my first guest of the year on Flippin Bats was Carlos Correa, and he went out of his way towards the end to just say, by the way, keep an eye on a relief pitcher for us this year, Jhoan Duran. He is going to be disgusting. Remember the name. And he said that, and I was like, okay. Like, he went out of his way to say that, and man, the guy is throwing 104 with 99-mile-an-hour splitters. That's pretty nasty.
He's among, I mean, rookie and is just absolute elite stuff. You have him and Felix Bautista and Andres Munoz, who just opened eyes this year, but you can't take your eye off the dude.
Next up for you, a guy that is really going to be put in the national spotlight come October because we're not talking about him as much as we should. Ryan Helsley of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, the man has been absolutely locked down all year. This was special because he had a 104-mile-an-hour fastball. We had 204-mile-an-hour fastballs in the same day from different pitchers, which I think is the first time in the StatCast era that's happened, and a 94-mile-an-hour wipeout slider with that. So it's going to be fun watching him under pressure. Like, he's definitely up to it and just shoves.
Can we make a pact with each other that we never let hearing or saying 104-mile-an-hour fastball become like, another one? This is insanity.
I totally agree. I think we get blinded to this. We're like, it's another dude throwing 104, blah, blah, blah. Number one, velo doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever. It definitely does matter. But 104 should always freak you out. 94-mile-an-hour sliders should freak you out a little bit too. But 104, I mean, it's a blur.
It's just getting insane velocity. And I was wondering this the other night because so what makes me feel better about my career is that these pitchers we're seeing at the highest level now were in the minors when I was. So I was facing 101 with nasty sink. And it's like, of course I wasn't hitting much. But I also was thinking about this when I was watching a game the other night. When you used to watch a broadcast, you know how when a fastball is fast enough, it flashes the flames? It used to do that at like 93, and then it was 95, and now it doesn't flash the flames unless it's 97. At what point are we going to start seeing the flames not flash up on the velo until it's 100?
Dude, I totally agree. Like, I feel bad. Like, sometimes I have a guy throw a 94 and it's his fastball. I'm like, I put a little gas emoji on it. I'm like, but really it's 10 miles an hour slower than this stuff. Like, but it's fast for the, like, I guess I grade on a curve, like, for that player.
Yeah.
If it's, but yeah, I totally agree. Like, it's amazing how things have changed. And I feel stupid sometimes doing that. Like, what impresses people now? Like, what is amazing? I mean, a 104 should always be amazing.
It's also hard to impress people or explain to them that some fastballs are just like invisibles. Like, Christian Javier doesn't throw 100 miles an hour for the Astros, but you just can't see his fastball and people struggle to hit it. So that would be a good example of, like, sometimes 93 looks like 100 and sometimes 104 looks like 104.
Yeah, right. And sometimes it's how it's set up. Sometimes it's, if it tunnels really well with other pitches, if a pitcher has a deception, weird arm slot, whatever, they all play into it. So it's not just about velocity, but velocity's fun.
It's fun. Next up, a lefty with a little bit of velocity, Jose Alvarado.
Yeah, I think he gets a little bit under the radar and doesn't get the respect he's deserved. Like, he has been absolutely lights out the last few months. And this is an example of why. I mean, this is, what is it, 103 mile an hour fastball and a 94 mile an hour cutter. And look at the tunnel on that. Like people are wondering like why you swing at these pitches. Well, it looks just like your fastball that's 103 and cuts away. Like that's sick.
Yeah. So fun fact about Jose Alvarado. I faced him a good bit in the minor leagues, and I didn't have to go up and bunt very often. But one time I was tasked with going up to bunt was against him. So, to get to bunt, you get down there, you put your head right behind the bat, right behind the barrel, really pretty close, and you just get down there and you lay it down. And Alvarado's up there throwing 100 miles an hour from the left side with a cutter. And the first one, first pitch, I go to bunt, pull back. It was like a cutter on the outside edge. It was a strike. Next one, 100, go to bunt, foul it straight back. I'm sitting 0-2. And I ended up singling to the left side on this at bat. I was down 0-2 and ended up with a single. But I was supposed to bunt, and I did not. And it was a very difficult task to get down there and bunt again against a guy like that.
I thought you were going to tell me you ended up like Max Scherzer with the bunt into your nose.
No, thank God. But, as I'm thinking about this, a lot of people are saying like the bunting is a lost art in the game of baseball. Nobody does it anymore. It's not easy. And it's not, when a guy was throwing 90 miles an hour or 85 mile an hour fastballs like back in the day, hey, get down there, drop it down. It's easy. It's like your catch. But guys are throwing 103 with nasty movement. Bunting is not easy. So maybe that's why we see less of it as well. I know what the analytics say, but it's not also easy.
I will say, like coaching high school kids, like they just, it is not easy for them, even at that velocity. Like we would say, yeah, get that bunt down. It's so easy. And like we had like 3 successful bunts all year.
Next up for you, a great story, by the way, Bryce Elder. What did you see from him?
So I'd like to put somebody that's not just about velo up there. And everybody loved watching him pitch. They're like, this dude looks like Greg Maddux up there painting with these sinkers. Like they're absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that. That's just a pretty pitch. Threw a shutout, the first Braves rookie to throw a shutout, I think, since 1990. I like to show things that show that the game isn't just about velocity. So some people have like hopes up that they can do this.
The Braves
with ridiculous stuff.
The Braves have some exciting things going on with rookies, and Bryce Elder isn't a name at the top of that list, and that says something because he was special the other night for sure. So you went away a little bit to a little artwork, a little backdoor sinkers, but you went right back to the velocity, my friend, Tyler Glasnow.
Yeah, but I'm going to show his absolute hammer right here. Like, this is one of those things I've missed. Like having Tyler Glasnow not playing baseball in the major leagues.
Yeah.
It makes everybody's life worse. Like, love watching this dude throw. Total hammer. I mean, that curveball is a work of art. I mean, it's fierce and beautiful at the same time.
You could say the same about his hair, honestly.
His hair, and just a genuinely good-looking dude. Like every time I put him out there, everybody's like swooning over him. And he's got that Thomas Shelby look, the little Peaky Blinders thing going. I mean, look at that.
Oh yeah,
that's a dead ringer.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned this is great. You made this. Was it on his start day?
Yes. I did this morning just because I felt like it, because I was like, I need to get this out there somewhere. I think it's on my Instagram. But yeah, this is.
It's funny you mentioned that, because it does feel like whenever anything is posted about him on baseball Twitter, it doesn't matter. Guys, girls, everybody, it's like just the appreciation for him as a good-looking guy. It seems like everybody understands that.
He is, and he's a great dude, like very understated, really nice guy, great hair, and can do a backflip too. Like he could do a standing backflip at 6'8". That's crazy.
That's impressive.
Like, how do you do that?
So he rounds out your top 5 nastiest pitches of the week. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.